Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings today. While there's a lot of activities in the political scene, Bola Ahmed Tinubu moving to the north, seriously campaigning for his 2023 presidential election. The Southeasterners are trying to do the same, but the indigenous people of Biafra have sent a stern warning over so many things, including this. In fact, as we speak, there's quite palpable tension in Southeast. Before we go into the news proper, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Well, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has warned political parties against holding rallies in the Southeast, saying they have done nothing while Fulani bandits kidnap their people and go into their women. The Nnamdi Kanu-led organization also advised a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress (APC) Chief Ikechi Emenike and his followers against holding a political rally in Umuahia, the Abia State capital, on Friday, which is today. This is contained in a statement made available by the spokesperson for IPOB, Ima Powerful, on Friday. It said, "We want to advise Chief Ikechi Emenike and his APC people not to hold any political rally in Umuahia tomorrow, okay, May 20th, while they kept quiet and did nothing when Fulani bandits kidnapped passengers, including female students, along Okigwe Uturu Road. We cannot allow Emenike and his APC co-travelers to be dancing and singing at Chidebere Park while our daughters are still in captivity. It is hypocrisy for the political elite to show no concern about the plight of our people who they claim to be seeking their welfare. It is wickedness for Emenike and his co-travelers to keep mute and do nothing about the incessant abduction of Igbo sons and daughters by Fulani herdsmen around Uturu and its environs. Ikechi Emenike should keep away from Chidebere Park, Umuahia, today. We won't allow APC and other political parties to continue to hold their rallies in our land, while Fulani bandits operate with impunity, kidnapping and going into our women. Yet the politicians do nothing about it. All they care about is 2023. Enough is enough. Fulani bandits are holding Igbo girls and are demanding 10 million naira as ransom per person. Emenike and APC to be dancing at a rally when the families of the victims are in painful mode. He should not dare also. Hey, this is serious. Indeed, the indigenous people of Biafra have gotten really very vexed. It's only normal that every responsible government should be looking out for her citizens. That's one of the primary roles of them being elected, and not just appointed but elected. They've sworn an oath to protect both lives and property. So if for any reason, it's almost annoying, let me use that word, annoying, that you said you are there, you have sworn oath of allegiance to protect lives and property, and the people who voted you in, the very people who voted you in, their lives are in danger, their properties are being burned, whether within or without, whether within or outsiders are doing this mayhem. It's your duty as an elected officer to ensure that safety is paramount, not just to the people living in there, but also to citizens living in that environment. So it's quite insightful, if you ask me, that such things are just happening and no one is doing anything about it. And now, looking at what the indigenous people of Biafra have decided to do, it's a wake-up call, technically, saying, look, you cannot be doing rallies and just all you're thinking of, all your expenses is just on 2023 presidency. And whatever it will cost you, you don't care. And you're still telling the people to vote you in are going to bring in security, whereas even the so-called people are not even secured. It does not require any group, really, to bring this to the attention of the governors, the politicians generally. It's as if that they are taking the citizens for a ride. It shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be a threat. I think is this going forward should be a wake up call. And I can imagine the group saying that going forward there's nothing like rallies. And when if you've ever witnessed rallies in Nigeria, you agree with me, it's a lot of fanfare, DJs are playing, dancers everywhere laughing as if all is well. And every day, can imagine the amount, 10 million, 10 million for kidnapped citizens, and the government of the day just feel is normal. It's one of those things that everybody will adjust. Then what's the beauty? What's the love? What gives the electorate the joy to vote for the same government? Do things is the way things are going, have you now seen why sometimes when people say that they want to secede, or when people say that they're joining this agitating group for one thing or the other, it's not because of the fact that they love violence, or because they love a situation where the country will go berserk, but simply because things are just not functional. It's so annoying. And some of these family members of those who have been kidnapped are rallying around looking for way they can get that money anyhow. Some of them have to sell properties, some of them have to look for relatives, friends, families, anyhow they can raise these monies. And some of these politicians, they are they'll just turn blind eyes to it, and they'll continue with their ambition for 2023. Who are you going to campaign for, or rather who are you going to carry your campaign promises to? It's not still the same electorate that you're turning blind eyes to in their days of war. What are you going to promise them? Security that you have not given them already? Okay, some persons may say it is not my party and I'm not the one, but try me, I'll make the difference. We Nigerians have been hearing the same promises practically. Even if you're not the president, or if you're not the governor, if you're not the senator, or if you're not the local council or state house of rep member, whichever the case is, if you're in a position of authority, or you're in a position of power, or you're in a position of influence or affluence to help the common man, please do so now. In fact, posterity will speak good and well for you if you do that. The way things are happening, it's not just in South, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. The level of hunger is terrible. Kidnapping is now a terrible business that is booming. Everybody, all they just need is just one help here and there, and they're already into the business. It's a shady one, it's a dirty one, but then it is booming. Simply because there are no checks and balances to ensure that this, or even if there are, it is overwhelming. Our politicians, political elite really needs to wake up and realize that they should smell the coffee. That realize that Nigerians are not happy with the way things are running. There's no need to take IPOB or any group to remind them that. And it's worse right now in southern part of Nigeria, southeastern part of Nigeria in particular. Because in the southwestern part, it is minimal. And probably because of the level of vigilantes that are out there. But honestly, if some person say that UGM and all whatnot is actually self-induced, self-inflicted pains and all that, and hence they should look in what about the governors or the politicians or the political elite having a stakeholders meeting and to cut this whole thing now before it escalates to something terrible? Well, what's your take on the fact that the IPOB have given a mandate that no one should actually be seen doing any form of dancing and rallying for any elections going forward, except all kidnapped victims are released?